Hey guys, this is Coach Jay. Today we're going to talk about the NCAA, the governing body for college sports. These are my opinions, and you may not share those opinions, but I just want to give you some information about the NCAA. Make sure you understand who they are, what they do, and what their role is, and that way you can make your own decisions on this. I don't know that anybody else has ever seen it the way that I see it. But because I'm in this business and I see how they work day in and day out, I have a different perspective. So I'm going to share with you what I have because part of my role as a recruiting advisor is just to give you information so you can make an informed decision. So here we go. The NCAA is a governing body for all the colleges. So they are an $850 to $1 billion a year nonprofit organization. They take in money from mostly TV contracts, football and basketball, and then they redistribute the money back to the universities so that they can fund the other sports. And they're kind of like the NFL or the NBA. They it's their club, and so they set the rules and rules they have. Right now, to date, they have 434 pages of rules. The majority of them are written in legalese. So unless you're an attorney, it's not very easy to understand it. There's many parts of it that I don't completely understand. And so the college coaches have to be tested on it every single year. For most D1 schools, they have 5 compliance officers, so that they can understand the rules and make sure that they're within compliance. I don't like any kind of organization where things are so unclear, but that's the way they've got it. So you can imagine the frustration that 16, 17, 18-year-old kids have with understanding contact periods and dead periods and how they can communicate and when they can. Is very confusing, and so that's the system that they have in place. My personal opinion is that the NCAA system works for the universities and not the athletes. If you look at how the thing is organized, the rules work to favor control by the colleges and the coaches. They have the power because they know the rules and you don't. So what happens is that most high school kids are heavily influenced by college coaches who basically dictate what the rules are. They tell athletes what they can and cannot do. So most athletes that's the way they learn how it works, and that's not the best way for them to learn. They lose a whole lot of control that way. Overall, the agreement for that the NCAA has in place is that the head coaches and administrators make very large salaries, and the athletes get a free education and housing. That's how it works. That they do not want the athlete, the high school athlete, to get anything for free. So they've set up a system where you cannot be entertained by boosters. The only way you can be entertained is when you go on their campus. They can show you around and do those kind of things. But no boosters can pay for anything that you want to do, even if they're talking about a school. And a booster is anybody who has given money to the athletic department. The college coaches show interest in any given class. They reach out to between 8,000 and 10,000 athletes, and then they narrow it down to 25. And how they narrow it down is by kids who don't qualify with ACT scores, kids who don't have a high enough core GPA, kids that aren't tall enough, kids that don't weigh enough, kids who can't run a fast enough 40, kids who don't have good enough character, kids who are not on winning enough programs. They just, they get a list from coaches, from high school coaches, people like me, recruiting services, and then they whittle it down from there until they get to 25. They're trying to get you interested in them, and then they will decide if they want you. The high school athlete thinks he's evaluating the school, but the college controls the whole process. The college picks the athlete with the right height, weight for the position they need based on how you rank compared to every other kid at your position. They want to keep you interested and see your level of commitment until they find the best couple of people at your position. The colleges determine who they will give official visits to, and they limit the number of schools a recruit can go to 5. So for every high school athlete, he can only take 5 official visits. And for many schools, there's many athletes that never take 1 official visit. So their expenses are limited. You can take as many unofficial visits as you want if you can get there. But the official visits is when they pay for it. So in my opinion, when you're talking about $1 billion of revenue, you would think that they could pay for a little bit more as far as recruiting goes for the high school athlete. When you do sign a commitment with a school, it is only a 1-year commitment. So at the end of that year, the coach has to make a decision if he's going to renew it or not. So they control that process as well. If you're not working hard enough, they won't renew. With the verbal commitment, the coach has the ability to pull the offer anytime within the process. Now, you also have that ability. It is a non-binding contract. But the verbal commitment that is made by most kids anywhere from the summertime right up till the February of their senior year, it is a non-binding agreement. Once a kid commits, the NCAA limits their ability to transfer schools, which takes away your power. You don't really have the ability. If you're not playing at a school, if things are not working out for you, you cannot just transfer without losing eligibility. In most colleges, they limit the amount of time that an athlete can work, which means that you end up spending your time getting bigger, stronger, faster, and getting better for their athletic program. Now, the one thing that I want to say about the process, the worst thing about the process is that most high school athletes make their decision about a college based on the recruiter that is recruiting them. And that is terrible. And I've heard it many times. They like their recruiter, and that is terrible. Now, what we do for our kids that we work with is probably the single biggest thing that we do is we put some of the control back with the parents by them knowing the rules, understanding how it works, understanding some healthy boundaries with these college coaches. They keep the process in control, where you don't have a 17-year-old boy making a decision based on all these college coaches that have turned him into a superstar or a rock star. So we put in some boundaries to keep the thing in control, and it really helps out a lot. Part of what we're trying to do is preserve the reputation of the family. With recruiting services and media and everything that's out there, you are in a fishbowl if you're a Division I kid. There's people talking about you all the time. We do try to keep some control over that so that things don't get too crazy. We monitor Facebook, Twitter, all the external areas where kids are communicating, and just with the number of talks that we have with the athlete, we keep things in check. The other thing is that I really try to do is try to keep a healthy balance with the athlete. I just want to know what's going on with them, and a lot of times they're going to tell me things that they don't tell their high school coach. They are not willing to tell their parents, but if I can keep a healthy balance there, we can keep this process in control. If we don't keep a healthy balance, things can get crazy. They can make bad choices, and things can just change in a very quick period of time. And many times, there's been cases where kids don't have a D1 offer because they didn't make the grades, they went to one party they shouldn't have gone to. A number of things can take place, but I think the single biggest thing is that to us, our most important thing is that the athlete gets a good education. And so we try to open up the doors, we try to find a good fit both academically and athletically so that you have the best college experience that you can have. I appreciate your time. Thanks.